Welcome to today's Sabbath School lesson for Tuesday, September 29th, 2015. This lesson is entitled The Prophetic Calling of Jeremiah. Now, we're going to return to Jeremiah chapter 1 and read again God calling Jeremiah into his purpose. Jeremiah chapter 1 verses 1 through 5. Again, that's Jeremiah chapter 1 verses 1 through 5. And it reads, The word of Jeremiah the son of Hilkiah of the priests that were in Anathoth in the land of Benjamin, to whom the word of the Lord came in the days of Josiah the son of Ammon, king of Judah, in the 13th year of his reign. It came also in the days of Jehoiakim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the carrying away of Jerusalem captive in the 5th month. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So what we get an understanding from this is that Jeremiah was extremely clear that God had called him into his purpose. Now, Jeremiah had a very, very hard life while walking in his purpose. If he did not have this understanding, if he did not have this faith that God had called him into this purpose, he would have given up. But because of this fact, he persevered. He was very fervent in walking in his purpose and the reason why he was created, because he knew who he was and who created him and the purpose that was placed on him by that creator. Now, what this means for us is that God has created us for a purpose. We all have purposes. Sometimes when we walk in that purpose, we get discouraged because it's not easy. It's not easy to attain the goals that God has created for you to aspire to. Some of us want to give up at times, but we need to have the same faith and fervor that Jeremiah had, with the understanding that God created us for this very purpose that we are working in. Whatever that purpose may be, whatever that goal that you are working towards may be, to help you in the fact that you will never give up in aspiring to those goals. The second thing is that we read in Jeremiah chapter 1 verses 4. Reading verses 4 through 5 of Jeremiah chapter 1. And it reads, Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Now before Jeremiah was created, God placed a purpose on his life. Now, this was specific to Jeremiah alone, but this is specific to everybody. Anybody who's walked the face of God's green earth was created with a purpose, and that purpose was ordained to them before they were even born, before their parents even thought about creating them. Now, a lot of people commit suicide because they feel as if they have no reason to live. This is a deception placed on many individuals by Satan. Everybody has an ordained purpose to live. Everybody has a reason why God placed them on this earth. And how we walk in that purpose, or how we receive that purpose, is by following in the footsteps of Jeremiah. Jeremiah, from a little child, surrendered himself to God. You, at whatever point, if you're a child or an adult, can now surrender yourself to God. When Jeremiah surrendered himself to God, God was able to reveal his purpose to him because he knew that Jeremiah was faithful. When God finds us to be faithful, he can reveal our purpose to us and entrust that purpose towards us. If we were not faithful, he would show us our purpose and we would walk away from it. And he would waste a manifestation of himself to us. God would only manifest himself to those who are faithful, who trusted him. So as we once surrender to him, and as we too cast our trust and our faith in him, he will manifest himself to us and reveal our purpose towards us, which will cause us to never feel as if there isn't a reason for us to live. Now, the last point that I want to touch in this is that Jeremiah walked in his purpose because he knew that he had an expected end. No matter how hard the road is, he knew that God was at the end of that road, that the light of God was at the end of that tunnel. Now, for us, we have the same thing. As God knew Jeremiah from his beginning, and he gave him an expected end, He has the same blessing waiting for us. And that's found in Jeremiah 29, verse 11, which is for all of us, a blessing that all of us can walk in. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. Turn there with me. And Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11 reads, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." God knows your beginning from your ending. So in the middle, as you walk in your purpose, understand that you have an expected end, and it's an end where God is looking to prosper you. Walk in your purpose.